Hello everyone, you can call me Doc. And this past weekend I played through Act 1 of the Destiny 2 Revenant episode on stream, twitch.tv/paralyzert9, if you want to come hang out with your favorite healer. Originally I was going to make this video as a sort of review of Act 1, but I'll be completely honest with you, I don't really have much to say that I imagine other Destiny 2 content creators haven't already said. The community sentiment around this episode seems to pretty much be what it always is when a new season or episode comes out in Destiny. So instead, I wanted to make a quick video about two very awesome things that came along with this episode. That being the Lumina change and the addition of Alethonym? I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. It's the new Stasis Grenade Launcher. But first, let's talk about the Lumina change. So, just to give you a little bit of Doc lore, Lumina is my favorite exotic in the entire game, hands down, easily, and has been since it was released in Year 2. I used this thing constantly, and I've used it even more ever since the day that I got my hands on Boots of the Assembler. For those that don't know, Lumina is an exotic kinetic hand cannon that drops something called noble rounds after defeating an enemy. If you pick up the noble round, you can then hip fire the weapon to shoot that noble round at your teammates. If a noble round hits your teammate, it will heal them and give you both a damage buff called Blessing of the Sky. My only real complaint with Lumina, up to this point, was that target priority was pretty much non-existent, to be honest with you. Basically, if your fire team was grouped up, you may accidentally give a single teammate your entire noble round supply. So, Bungie said that they were going to do something to Lumina's tracking, and when I saw that, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty pumped. I was pretty pumped to see what exactly was gonna happen with my favorite exotic. So, in the patch notes, they said that they were going to try to make Lumina's tracking more similar to the no hesitation auto rifles tracking. After spending some time with it in the new Onslaught mode, I am beyond thrilled to say that Bungie did in fact cook with this change. Lumina feels better than ever, and I am so here for it, bro. It is amazing. It feels even better than it ever has before. Firstly, the first thing is that you can actually see now who your noble round is going to target, which, to be honest with you, already would have been enough for me to be happy, but that's not all. With that targeting system, finally adds some actual target priority. Whereas old Lumina would target just whoever is closest, new Lumina seems to make an effort to hit your target even when there is another teammate around. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. You may see it somewhere in this video, or if you happen to have seen my stream, you may notice that, there were a couple times where it did kind of default to targeting someone close to me. It's not perfect, but it is still so much better than it was before. And finally, the new targeting for Lumina makes the noble rounds feel a bit, stickier, maybe? Is that the word that I would use? Probably, yeah. New Lumina seems to be tracking teammates around corners and into places that I don't think old Lumina would have been able to track them into. Maybe I'm wrong on that last one, but I'm going to be honest with you. Either way, I am absolutely in love with this change. I use Lumina pretty much for the entirety of that Onslaught mode, and I have been loving every second for it. And that's pretty much it for Lumina. I mean, just that one simple change, it made a huge difference. And I've been having a blast with it. So honestly, man, just go try this thing out because genuinely it feels incredible to use right now. The other weapon I wanted to talk about today is a newcomer to the support weapon family, that being Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to try to pronounce that again. It's a Sing. Right here. On screen. Yep. That's it. That is a name right there. Yep. It is a stasis primary ammo grenade launcher that feels very similar to the Mountaintop if you've ever used that. Anytime you defeat an enemy, they leave a vestige behind. It's honestly pretty similar to Lumina's Noble Rounds. You can also get a large chain of vestiges from hitting stronger enemies like bosses. Once you collect a vestige, it will grant you a bit of energy. So after you fill half of that energy bar, you can spawn special ammo for you and your allies, and once you fill the entire energy bar, you can spawn heavy ammo for you and your allies. I was messing around with it a little bit on stream before I got into all the onslaught stuff and all that, before I tried new Lumina, and I was sort of unsure about it. And I'm still kind of unsure about it, but for a different reason. Now that I've been using it more off stream, I think the problem was that I was originally using it wrong. I was trying to treat it like a special weapon instead of using it the way that it was intended. It's essentially an unlimited ammo mountaintop. If we're being straight up, that's really what it is. It's like Fighting Lion and Mountaintop had a baby that I actually enjoy using. Now that I've been using it more, I am happy to say that it's growing on me. I think it's a really solid weapon overall. It is strong, it is fun, and while it is just one for all, it's not an amazing catalyst. We do still have a catalyst to look forward to in Act 2, so it will get a little bit better. Though I will say, I'm still unsure about the support aspect of it, right? We're all about healing and support on this channel, so I have to talk about it. I'm kind of torn, right? Because on one hand, I like the ability to create ammo whenever we need. And there's no other exotic weapon like it that I can think of, right? This is pretty much like the exotic weapon to create ammo. There are other exotic armors and stuff like that that can do it, but this is like the weapon to do it. But with those exotic armors, though, when you look at all the armors and mods and, what's the thing, seasonal artifacts and all that, there are literally like a dozen other ways to generate special and heavy ammo for you and your team. On top of that, personally, I feel like the heavy and special ammo economy is fair enough on its own that I've never really felt the need to dedicate any resources to ammo generation. Though, of course, at the end of the day, I am the healer guy, so I'm generally not as concerned with slaying out as a bunch of other people are. Maybe I just don't go through that much ammo. I don't know. But either way, though, regardless of my feelings on the support perk, it's still a good weapon, and honestly, any support weapon added to the game is a win in my book, and I'm just very happy that it exists and that it's in the game. I do plan on throwing together a little build to mess around with, and I will plan on posting that one for you guys sometime soon. Not sure exactly when, but I will be working on that, I promise. Outside of that, there were a couple small buffs to some support or support adjacent armor pieces for Warlock that are nice, but I don't think that they really warranted their own video. Cenotaph Masks now lets you see marked enemies again, and Verity's Brow got a damage buff. I'll be honest, I don't really use Cenotaph that much, and that kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the ammo economy. I don't really feel like Cenotaph Mask is necessary with the ammo economy being as solid as it is. And the support aspect of Verity's Brow does remain unchanged, but the damage buff is still nice, and both of these are good changes nonetheless. I never really understood why they removed the marking for Cenotaph Mask, but I'm glad that it's back. Well done, Bungie. Well, I think that was about it. A little bit of a shorter video today, but I've got more stuff coming for you this weekend. Overall, I am extremely happy that support players are getting some love this episode, and I will get to work on making a fun support build with the yeah, that thing. But as always, I've been Doc. Take care of yourselves, be good to others, and I will catch y'all in the next one.